Hello everyone. So, yes, the COM network. Oh yeah, I forgot what, I think it was 2 hours, 23 minutes and 18 seconds was the period for the COM satellites. Let's check. Will it actually tell me anything? No, of course it won't. We know it's 18 seconds, and that's kind of all that matters because at 2.7 by 2.7 megameters, the minutes will be fairly consistent. All right, let's do this. Just check what other contracts we have. Crewed orbital. Early satellites. Those are the only two. All right. All right, and oh, we're launching into planes, so we didn't actually have to warp to morning, but whatever. Hey, Specimen Spiff. Lunar orbit happened twice. Once regular and once polar. Oh, shoot, I forgot to go back to that other thing. Ugh. Yeah, I still have something orbiting the moon that can probably get more science. So I'll need to remember to check back with it. So that's all good. That's bad. Let's lower the altitude required. We need to target one of these puppies. Launch into the plane of it. Set as target. Launch into plane of target. All right. Pitch over even less. So lunar orbit. Then I put it something in geostationary orbit, and now we're launching our COM network of 4 COM satellites. Up we go. On these nice and cheap launch vehicles. Hello. Nice and cheap launch vehicles with huge honking fairings up top, which is kind of a problem. This will overshoot slightly, so let's do that. This is a Beagle lower stage, so basically a Thor with the X405 upper that you've been seeing before, maybe. So basically, it's like the Vega stage that was proposed for Atlas, but in 8-foot diameter and on top of a Thor. I do post all of these to YouTube if you want to catch up. But I realize that there are better things to do in one's life. The way you'd actually do this in real life is go to MECO shortly before burnout, and while the verniers are running, start up that engine, and then use it to accelerate away from the stage. But instead, we'll do it the Kerbal way. 3, 2, 1. Oh, come on. Really? We'll be right back. I don't have the patience to rebuild that LV, so we'll just... We'll just relaunch it. I really should have put some ullage motors on. It's annoying me too much. Not really sure why it has such problems, but it does. Guess I'd better actually hot stage the thing. Yep, let's actually hot stage the thing. Set as target, launch into plane of target. Go. Okay, so at about 0.5 seconds we'll stage, and then stage again as quickly as we can. And hopefully we won't lose too much delta V in the process. More like 20 seconds. Yeah, that'd be one more thing for Lamont to add, probably. But we'll see how this goes. 45 seconds to burnout. Seconds. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. That worked fine. Bit hairy, but otherwise fine. And we still have enough spare. Hey, Shimmy. Thank you. That worked better than I feared it might. Always happy when something actually works. Okay, we can drop the fairings. Relative inclination is slowly lowering. I like that. Pitch. We're still going to have about 30 meters per second spare, probably. I hope it's just you, buddy. It looks... OBS is showing the exact same stats. Otherwise, oh, we actually have more left than I thought we would. Okay, almost 60 left. That's cool. Let's raise that a little bit. There. Circularize at apogee. Antennas out. Save. Rotate to align with the node. God, Scatterer and RV are so pretty. It's just so pretty. And then there's this misshapen gray lump on my screen. Nothing's perfect. It's my own fault for designing a satellite that looks like that. Very Russian. So flippity flippity flip. So we will align with the node. We have good alignment. Say yes to on. Let's warp to the node. And as usual, because we launch in daylight, we're on the dark side for apogee kick. Them's the brakes. The upper stage booster had an X405H, which was designed for the Atlas stage for the Vega stage for Atlas, which was almost flown, but then was replaced by Agena, which was similar performance. X405H was basically a development of Vanguard's X405 as an upper stage engine, and it was the first engine that could relight. So I'm taking great advantage of the fact that it can relight, although not on this mission, but in other missions I was. All right, so we're going to do the thing around apogee. Okay. That raised things fairly significantly. All right, now we'll recirc. At the next one. Where's the other satellites? Unset target. Okay, so there's one there, which means, whoops. So we're going to want to get over here. So let's increase the warp. Yeah, so I've basically been using it as a second stage on a 2 LR79 first stage, which I was calling Corgi, and as the third stage, a relightable third stage, on Doberman, which is 4 LR79s and then an LR105 second stage. But in this case, it actually works really well as a second stage on effectively a Thor. Although you have to underload the propellant on the first stage to have a high enough liftoff thrust-weight ratio. Works really well. As you can see, it can loft like, I think I figured out about 600-700 kilograms to low Earth orbit. Or, in this case, 400 kilograms to medium Earth orbit. Okay, so we're 10 minutes off, and we have 3 more burns to go. So I think we'll actually orbit a couple times. While we have the lower period and get centered a little better. Now there's one here, one here. Another 10 minutes will put us in. Yeah, I think on the next one we should go. Actually, you know what? We'll do it this round, and then we'll fine tune later. I'm doing it with RCS. 4 of the tiny quads, and then 2 of the tiny thrusters, because we were mass limited. I did half the circularization burn with 2 baby sergeants, or a little over half, and I'm doing the other half with thrusters, because I wanted fine control at the end. Probably should have packed less hydrazine and a 3rd baby sergeant. That would have made my life a lot easier, but I didn't. I did it this way. Okay. All right, and then we'll gradually work our way forwards. Because we're over there and we want to be there. Okay. So we can do that on the next round. Let's see where we're positioned after that one. We're not going to make up much ground because our periods are quite close. Okay, and we're looking at there and there. And let's warp to the next maneuver and see where we are. All right, so we're there. Where's the rest of things? I think we want to do one more. All right. Now we're pretty centered. Actually, we may be... Yeah, we're just about right. Okay, and we want 2 hours, 23 minutes, and 18 seconds. Close enough. All right. Let's see if it recognizes it. Yes, all 3 recognized. So the 4th we just have to put over there. Good. Let's make it a relay also, even though technically it can't relay signals, which is not the best. It's the COM constellation contract of 4 satellites. So yes, at that altitude, it's 4. So we're going to launch the 4th and put it in the remaining spot. What's the key to being recognized? It has to have a perigee above 2680 something kilometers. It has to have a low eccentricity. It has to have direct contact with KSC, and it has to have direct contact with what's in front of it and behind it. I'm going to duplicate just in case we have a failure. And then we'll launch the last one. How are we doing on tech? 8 days for that, and then we're stuck in that. All right. Ah, interesting. We're underwater. Global warming. All right. Okay. So let's target you. Launch into plane of target. 11 hours. Let's add this so we can hot stage. And are we forgetting anything else? Nah, I think we're good. Warp. We've entered the warp. Yeah, it's I don't really know why that bug exists. I presume it's a scatter issue. Might not be. I think I may have seen it before. It was. Yeah, I don't actually know whose fault it is. It's probably just Unity KSP in terms of precision. Up we go. Those are the procedural fairings for everything Atlas textures. I think they're Atlas. I usually use the Atlas textures, and these are the Saturn Nova textures. And also the tanks are obviously the Saturn Nova tank textures. survived the pitch down. I am so unused to how fast these launches are because it's mostly green, and I'm used to them taking about twice as long. Skybox is whatever came with Pingo Pete's RVE many moons ago, and I haven't swapped it out ever since. Because Felipe didn't like procedural parts until he made procedural fairings himself. Don't ask me. Felipe gonna Felipe. I don't know if Phineas Freak's RSSVE comes with a skybox or not, but I've just been using that one. Okay, we're coming up on the hot stage. So, we'll ignite it 1 second. There we go. That was beautiful. And we're... Interesting. That's lower than last time. Oh, because we had more vertical ascent. That's why. Slightly higher gravity losses. Interesting how much of a difference that made. Interesting. We'll still be fine because we had plenty spare last time. We'll pump that up slightly so there's less RCS burn. Still 15 pascals. It's a hot ascent. There's just not as much delta V contribution from the first stage in this launch vehicle, and so much contribution from the second stage. Okay, fairing SEP. Away they go. Yeah, I'd love it if there were interstage textures that had vents. Yeah, that would be awesome if somebody made those. The old pitch down. Depends what shaders used. Some shaders support transparency, some don't. The problem is that you'll have to deal with the fact that you'll also want to see the backside of the stuff on the other side. And that's 2 layers of alpha. It's sort of weird. Insertion, raising apogee. Burnout was still a little early, but we're just trying to fine tune. Whoops. Only a hair too early. All right. So, circularize. Turn this off. I wish it defaulted to off. I really wish it did. flip. Align with the node. We're aligned. SAS to on. And unset that target. Warp to the maneuver. How much power? Just like a few watts worth of solar panels. Not much. They can't even relay stuff, really. They're ComSats for like Earth stuff, not for rockets. Because I haven't unlocked any probe cores that will do relays yet. Seven, 6, 5, 4. Ignition. Okay, and we'll continue to raise perigee. Yeah, there's little solar panels right there. 1, 2, and then 3, 4. All right. So let's see where the satellites are. That's Caterpillar 3. There's Caterpillar 1. There's nothing here. And there's Caterpillar 2. So we have to get all the way over there. So that's going to be a fair few orbits. Okay, so I think on the next one we should maybe act. That's Caterpillar 1, and there's nothing for a while. So the next one will be, yeah. Let's see what happens going to that. Caterpillar 1. Where will Caterpillar 1 be? Very near us. No, I think we want to go one more. Then we'll raise perigee further. Yep, the art of orbital phasing indeed. Not a science, because I haven't opened a spreadsheet to do it, but and I don't have the mental energy to deal with that right now. So instead, we're just going to do it by eye. So Kerbal. Oops. We burned a little long. All right, let's see where we are in an orbit. Not as far off as I expected. Because we really don't want to overshoot, because we'll have to go all the way around again. And that would be stupid. Really don't want to overshoot. We want to make up, it's about there, and that's a 16th of an orbit. No, a 12th of an orbit. A 12th of that is like 8 minutes. Yeah. All right, so we'll be okay. I don't think we're going to overshoot. We're going to be close to overshooting, but we're not actually going to overshoot. I think I actually want to burn a little long this time. Because, yeah, we don't want to overshoot. And we're really getting pretty close. Let's raise it up to 20. Will we make 20 on this? Oh yeah, we'll do it on the next pass anyway, so that's fine. All right. That will actually be correct. I think. Yeah, we're a little far ahead, I think, compared to where we should be. But they'll have direct line of sight of each other, so that's fine. So we're close enough, I think. Two hours, 23 minutes, 18 seconds is our desired period. Perfect. Do we not have direct connections to people? Oh, we're a little too far ahead. That sucks. I guess we did overshoot. We're a little too far ahead. Dang. Well, let's check and see which is the one that's actually far ahead. So let's align this plane. That comes through the Earth. That's about right. This should go ahead a little bit. No, it's this one that should go ahead a little bit. The rest of these are actually look about correct. This is too close. Let's turn the forest back on. Oh, but interesting. They have a connection. It's actually this that should, according to RemoteTech, it's this that should go ahead a little bit. Oops, no, I didn't want to set target. I wanted to switch to it. We can get rid of our backup now, which is KCT is at 12%. So we wasted some VAB effort, but that's fine. Happily, that doesn't cost any money. So what do we need to do? We need to lower our period slightly. After fixed time, 20 seconds. Okay. That's just to give us a marker for the node. We still have a fair amount of hydrazine, so we're going to lower our period by 30 seconds. So down to 48 seconds. Okay. Now let's inch things around until we have comms. What the heck happened to you? There should be a satellite over here. Oh, because it's not. Oh, shoot. Uh-oh. I forgot to make it a relay, so it doesn't show up. Well, we'll go to Space Center and come back. Bill, that's pretty cool. Good work. Tracking station. Probes. Caterpillar 4, change it to a relay. Turn probes back off. And we'll go to Caterpillar 1. AKA make it stock containers. All right, let's see what happens after an orbit. Why are we not actually warping? Oh, that's why. Right. Okay. Why do we still not quite have line of sight there? Let's try this again. Why is... No. Okay. That'll do. Warp to next maneuver. All right. Yes, we now have comms. Let's raise the period back up. Now what's lacking comms? Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, whoops, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. All right. Now, what's your problem? They're all four directly connected. That's weird. They have direct connections to each other just fine. Oh, this link doesn't. That's not a direct connection. That is, but that's not. That's somehow blocked. Which is weird because the contract said this was a sufficient altitude to do it, but apparently it's not quite because we're going through the Earth. I should have just gone to three megameters because this is just not quite working. That confuses me because that should make the connection. All right, I want to see what happens if we do this. If it'll recognize it. Yes, it did. Okay. So we'll just do it like that because that should get through the like upper ionosphere or whatever. And because I don't want to deal with tweaking all of the orbits again. Let's see, we have 2 days to do this. RP-1 will be released as soon as we can. I've been somewhat busy, so other people working hard on it. I'm streaming a lot just because I need to not burn out on stuff, but we'll get it done soon. It's quite close. As you can see, it's mostly working fine. There are a few remaining niggles. Okay, contract complete. Now we can get rid of that. That's a whole lot of money. Let's turn probes back on. Let's turn this back off so it doesn't blind me. Space Center. Going through the ionosphere, not bouncing through it. Bouncing off it, I was wrong. They do actually bend a little bit. Long ago, there was a discussion on RemoteTech's GitHub about modeling that, but I don't think it ever got modeled. All right. Can grind those. We can grind these. We can. We need to do these, but I still haven't installed Kerbal Alarm Clock. Can do another one of these because it pays really well, but I was saving it for the actual capsule launch. And I'm going to need to save up to get that facility. This completion 360, that'll take us almost over, such that we can upgrade that. With a few more advances, be able to do it. Almost halfway done with the VAB. Oh yeah, I can't even build anything yet because this hasn't been researched. So it doesn't matter that I haven't installed CAC yet. excuse me. So let's look at what else we can grind. Well, I mean, this pays well. 134 units. I don't know how much of an LV we'll need to do this, but we'll see. So that period implies an SMA of geostationary altitude, which means I need to do some math to determine what it is with a perigee of 1 megameter. Math time. All right, so let's go to Wolfram Alpha. And we want X plus 6371 plus 1000 plus 6371. Oops, oh, it's actually minus. It's yeah, I always forget the formula for eccentricity. Okay, and let's change those numbers equal 0.31. See what Wolfram Alpha says. All right, I clearly did that wrong. Oh, no, because it's the period requirement. Right. Yeah, I did that wrong. 1200 plus X equals 35,786 times 2. All right, that implies about 70 megameters. Now, home and transfer. Initial orbit is going to be 160 by 160. Final orbit is 70. Let's go to 71. The delta V is 2800. And it should be a fairly trivial amount to raise perigee once we're in that orbit. So, yeah. Okay. Let's take that contract, because now we know we need about 2,800 to 3 kilometers per second in the injection stage, and then probably about 100 meters per second, 200 meters per second to raise perigee. That was 134 units, I believe. 134 units. All right. Let's see. We certainly won't be able to do it with the launch vehicle we just had. But we can probably do it with a Corgi. Let's look at this. We might not even need the thrust augmentation. Okay, let's make sure these are on hydrazine. They're not. Let's convert this over to hydrazine. Convert this over to hydrazine. That is not very heavy. Right, let's calculate our delta V. Oh, right, shoot. I forgot about, that was stupid. I forgot about the ComSat stuff. Service module. Let's put you on top. And instead, this needs to be 134 liters. What do we have tooled for the SM1? Tooling SM1 914. Where's gray side? Gray side. Put ComSat payload in here. Bring it down to 134. Okay. Yeah, a mission planner would be really nice. Let's put the RCS on the wide points here. They need to be straightened. Okay. The tooling cost is fairly expensive, but I think it's... Is it worth paying? How much does it cost? Let's find out. 200 funds? No, it's not worth. Even at 800 funds, it's still not worth it. Okay. So, let's calculate our delta V. Oh, that hasn't been tooled either. 0.614. No, we're never going to be that long. The delta V of this is 156 over 113. Times 9.80665 times 198. 626. That's plenty of delta V. That's in fact more delta V than we really need. Yeah, so let's go with 140 kilograms. The requirements are just that, 134. Okay, so we need 2,800 in the upper, and then to go polar, let's claim we need 9,300 again. Maybe 9,400. Okay, that's plenty. Once again, we don't need those. We don't need this. We don't need to over-provision. We don't have enough delta V. I guess we did need the boosters. That is not enough, my friends. That is not enough. That's enough to get it to orbit. That's not enough to get it to polar orbit. Oh, right. I bet this isn't upgraded to hydrazine either, because I loaded an old launch vehicle. Nope, it's not. Hydrazine. Hydrazine all around. Still not good enough. Hello again. So that's a problem. We're going to need boosters, after all. Turns out we're going to need boosters after all. Also, I need to add some ullage motors to this, given my recent lack of success. Where did they get put? That's a weird stage to get put on. I guess we need 4 of them. 4306. And let's put 4 of you on. So that cost 15 meters per second to add some ullage motors. But it's worth it. I definitely think it's worth it. And we'll have them burn for 2 seconds. Hopefully that's enough ullage. Actually, they should really only burn for about 1 second, I think. Oh, that's actually a lower I thought they burned a shorter time than that, but I guess they don't. That's fine. Okay. Now we definitely have to add some boosters. So back to being expensive. Oh well, easy come, easy go. Okay. That works. The retros, ullage, decoupler, engine, fairings, that. All right. Now we should hopefully have enough delta V to go polar. Because it's really only about 88, 89. It'll only be about 88, 50, 8900 with that thrust to weight ratio. So let's quickly check. 678 plus 4435 plus 4283, 9396. Yeah, I think we'll just be just about right. Yeah, they do weird stuff when the altitude record changes. That's known. I think Maximal was going to look at it. All right, so this is not cheap. In fact, I wonder whether the Doberman might be cheaper. Probably won't be. 1636. Oh, let's check that, those, that, all that. Let's change that. Let me see how expensive the Doberman is. Because we actually, I think, tooled everything for the Doberman. We just haven't used it. Oh, no, we most certainly have not tooled everything for the Doberman. So yeah, this is going to be marginally more expensive. But not by as much as you'd think. 30, you'd expect a quarter of that, so about 7,500. So it's only about $1 million more expensive than the thrust-augmented Corgi. So anyway, let's go ahead and build this. Tooling says that's expected. That's expected. We'll just pay those costs. Show build list. It doesn't exist. Let's build one. There's no harm in building another in case we have a failure. Yeah, thrust-augmented Corgi is pretty funny. Thrust-augmented Beagle will also be featured. I'm not sure there's much point in thrust-augmenting a Doberman. Might be. We'll have to see. Could probably put like 6 of those casters on the Doberman and it would have a pretty impressive payload. But we really don't need to chuck 4 or 5 tons into orbit. I mean, even unaugmented, the Corgi can put 1.8 tons in orbit, which is more than enough for what we need. So, yep, let's launch this and then go ahead and... we need to put it on this pad. We're really not taking advantage of that engine. All right, and oops. I hit the wrong button, but happily time didn't actually advance that fast. Thank goodness something saved me. Okay, we're finally actually beginning to get new nodes. So let's go ahead and launch. I'm going to save. Yeah, RP-1 on hard, you can't go quite as fast as RP-0, because I'm only about 3.5 years ahead of real history, rather than like 6 years. It really slowed stuff down. All right, let's change this up. Three stages. All right, let's see how this works. Now, the inclination has to be 60-something degrees, I think. 61.4 and 60. All right, so let's go to 62 degrees. We're going to 150 by 150. All right, fingers crossed. That is wrong, in case you're wondering, but it's fine. 2 LR-79s are go. Woof! Look at that. So fast off the pad. It's ridiculous. Solid SEP. Why are we stuck? Oh, for crying out loud. It sticks when I decouple the solids. I forgot that about this launch vehicle. Alright, hopefully we'll still have plenty spare. Looks like we probably will. I probably over budgeted again, because I didn't anticipate just how low the gravity losses would be with those solids. That, or it looks like some of the original Saturn schemes. God, that was fast. That was such a fast mover. Yeah, I didn't need the ullage motors. We're going to be in almost no dynamic pressure by the time we actually stage. With the thrust augmentation, I bet I could make 2.5 tons to orbit with this thing. Well, actually, let's see what it is. I wonder what it'll be. Just that stage and the stuff. It won't be much more than 2 tons, I don't think. Maybe it will be. Okay, coming up on staging. That's a funny looking stage setup, but that's fine. Yeah, we had. Boy, did I over budget. Did not anticipate how low those gravity losses would be, even going fairly polar. It's not fully polar, it's only 62 degrees. That's the other reason why I over budgeted. It's over. Wrong by 200 there. Yeah, but then I have to get it back again, so we'll just do it the old-fashioned way. Also, remember, we're going to have a bunch spare, and we're going to 62 degrees. So we have to up for that. Also, we're going stupid low. If we're going to 185 by 185, then that's what we should go to compare nominal payloads. All right, we can dump the fairings now. Those were some big fairings for a little tiny probe. But hey, didn't have to retool them. Also didn't need the mass. Nice thing is we're not going to have to pitch down much because we're only... Oh, actually, you know what? Why don't I go... We'll use up some of that excess delta V and go to a bit of a higher orbit. On insertion. That's good enough. All right. So let's get rid of that thing. 2.242. Yep. As I bet we could do 2.5 tons to low equatorial. Well, 28.5. Interesting. That must have been quite the penalty. All right, let's activate that. Now, Tundra orbit. Let's line that up. Okay, so we want to be, we figured about 70 megameters. All right. 12 hours and 30, no, that's too high. Oh, no, that's not right, because we're not actually near. Right, time to maneuver node is just shy of an hour, which means this should be, that seems about right, actually. Yeah, that seems about right to me, I think. Well, let's try it out. Extend the antennas. RCS to on. Let's align and perform the maneuver. Turn that off. Execute next node. That's fairly well aligned. We still getting McMurdo? Yep, we're in contact with McMurdo. That's nice. Voltage burn. Yeah, also casters burn, the caster ones burned for a very short time, only 28 seconds. Pretty much everything after that burned longer. So that was more a concern then. Like modern solids will be a minute to a minute and a half to 2 minutes boost. Look at that period go. Okay. Cool. Now, let's go ahead and separate. Oh, come on. All right, now let's go ahead and raise energy and apogee 63 meters per second. That's fairly cheap. So, what would the new 2-minute short? That looks about right. Good. All right, let's go ahead and save that, warp to the maneuver. Raise that. So the 3-core Atlas V was planned. I mean, that's why why Delta has the common core boosters and Atlas V has the common booster cores. Or is it the other way around? Whatever. They were both planned to be common cored. But they never needed Atlas V Heavy. All right, so we want 23 hours, 56, 4.1 seconds. Okay. We're good. Tundra orbit complete. Scrap this because we don't need it anymore. Back to Space Center. And I think that'll do me for tonight. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching. I'll see you again. I'm not actually sure. We'll see how tired I am tomorrow. Might see you tomorrow, might not. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good night. Bye-bye.